Welcome everybody, this is the ManCalledMegz, and here we are taking you through the champion spotlight for the champion in Paladins, Grover. Thankfully this champion has nothing in common with the blue fluffy character from Sesame Street. He's in fact a very heavy hitting champion, a fighter with, as you can see, quite a humongous axe, which he uses to deal a wide sweep of damage to his foes, plus a lot of other things that we shall take a look at shortly. Grover is also one of the unlockable champions, so you won't have him straight from the game, but I think he's very much worth it. As you're getting into it, you will see a lot of Grover play online. He's a champion a lot of people are playing with for very good reasons. So let's take a look at his skill set so we can understand why people are playing him so much. So as I mentioned, his main attack is his axe swing. It's a large melee attack, dealing about 450 damage to your enemies in a wide area in front of the champion. Whilst this is a per swing attack, you don't have to click the button continuously to fire it off. You can in fact hold it in and move as you're going about, which I find is a little bit useful when you're diving into a melee group of massive enemies. What you don't want to be doing is constantly moving your hand off the mouse to be able to try and aim where you're going, as well as trying to hit the enemies in front of you.
Enemy is unstoppable.
So here we are in the training room, so we'll just show you how the axe hit works on a single player. You can see left and right across the screen, dead in 4 hits. But as you'll see, as we move into the main character, and just move back a little bit, you can see it's actually hitting all 3 heroes in front of Grover. And it actually, go back a little bit more. You can see that's about as far away as you can possibly be before you stop hitting people. So it's a reasonable spread and a reasonable distance in front of you, so that you can continue to deal damage to your opposing champions. Very good in tight, confined corners. Very good in payload, especially. Grover's F ability is the Vine. Works in a little way similar to, I guess you could say, Scorpion's Come Over Here ability. It fires out a vine which then drags you towards the area that you've clicked. This can be targeted at other champions, which will drag you right onto them, and also give them a movement debuff. It's very useful if you're trying to engage in combat with especially a long range type champion. You can dive straight in and they can't kind of get the movement drop on you. So let's just see. You can see it can fire you all about the arena. Here we are in the training area again, just to show you that it's quite useful for movement, not only just for targeting of enemy champions. Of course, what you are trying to do is lock yourself onto an enemy and put yourself close to them. So here I am just firing off just to show you the kind of range. It's not super far away, so you have to be a reasonable step close. But there you go, so it pulls you straight in, and then you can do your damage. So his alternate attack, the right mouse button, is the axe throw. Does another 450 damage to a target, but also cripples them for an amount of time. It also increases its damage the further away you are. So Grover is very much an up close and dirty fighter, so to speak. But this axe throw does give him the ability to do an amount of damage to an enemy at range before running in and trying to get those kills nice up and close in their face. I did quite a lot of testing with the axe throw just to try and get a gauge on it. As you can see, he missed completely, so you are firing directly at your opponent. There's no drop or anything like that. So 550 damage from there. Here we are, a very long way away, missing. So we'll try and aim a little bit closer. About 200 meters. So let's take actually probably so 1, 2, 3, maybe 300 meters. So 730 damage from about 300. Let's move in a bit closer. You can see, yeah, it's probably about 400 meters, give or take. Let's see if we can I aim this up and hit it from here? Nope, there we go. So 799 from about 500 meters. We'll try again from even farther back, and 860 damage. So it's a hefty buff for the distance that you can get on it. But as you can see, if you can't see the enemy, there is a limited amount of time that axe will go forward before it hits. So it's not possible to do a sort of, as you can see here, move back so you can't see the enemy, know it's there, throw it, run forward, and try and see if they're there. It won't continue to go for an infinite amount of distance. Something interesting here, I don't know if it's just a thing. As you can see, aiming straight there hits the enemy on the left. I only seem to do this at this point if I was doing a jump. So if I jump up and throw, it went to the left, even though I wasn't aiming to the left. Does that mean that there's auto-targeting on? I wasn't quite sure. Grover's final two abilities are his Q ability, which is basically a movement buff, but also it basically shows an enemy champion nearby. I didn't get very good sort of footage of this in the training area because you're right on top of all the other enemies. But his final ability is his ultimate ability, his E-Attack. This is an excellent ability, a really good ability for dealing with crowds. The only issue with it really is that it's very slow on the old movement, so you have to be ready to pop this pretty much as you're diving into an area with 2, 3, 4 or more enemy champions in it. But when you do, the results are, well, let's say, pretty spectacular. So here we are with a defense of a payload. I die miserably, diving in too soon. Accidentally hit the voice command box for no apparent reason. But here we are. We know that there's going to be a group of enemies all swarming around that payload target in a small confined area. So as we get ready to come in, there we go. Pop the ability. 2 enemies in close combat. Take them down in a matter of seconds. So that's really Grover in a nutshell. He is a, big tree dude with a big axe. What more do you want in a champion? Large amounts of health, slow movement speed, but higher attack damage, able and capable of taking out multiple enemy champions in a short amount of time. That's not to say, of course, that Grover is somehow some tank invulnerable to damage, able to sort of run on and take 5 or 6 enemies at a time. In fact, that's often his weakness. His slow movement speed and a large target area really means that if you're diving into an area that's got 3 or more enemy champions that have a good sort of range of sight around them, you probably won't be doing all that well. His lack of movement speed also makes him quite vulnerable to crowd control, especially any netting or slowing effects that then leave you very vulnerable to counterattack. Let's focus on the positives though. Here we are taking and chasing down a Drogos. Take him out. We find another 2 enemies running away from us. This is the best kind of moment for a Grover player really, is if you've got the champions not aware that you are right behind them. And then we vine in to get on top of them. You can chase them down and do quite a large amount of damage. Now, usually, Kiness is one of the worst heroes to go against. Her long range makes it very difficult, but she doesn't notice me here, so I get a chance to come up behind her, hit her a good few times, and then come up close. And although I didn't kill her myself there, eliminated by my colleague, fellow player. Axe throw there, again, nearly 600 damage. I vine in, straight on her, 3 dead in space of a couple of minutes. This was an incredibly short game of Payload that we play. We vine in on Victor, again another long range one, usually quite a difficult one, take him down with a few swipes. And Draxus is not watching where he's going, so he gets hit in the back. And then we also take down another hero. Kinessa wanders into the back of us, so we get to take her down for our 4th kill. And Victor's coming in, he's taken a lot of damage. We get to pick up the 5 kill streak quite simply. Here we are chasing down a Grover, and then just as we come around the corner, again we're back into another hero, another champion, sorry. Again, Vine come in, and we're able to do a large amount of damage to several champions, all in the same area for a nice double kill there. Sorry, triple kill even, sorry. Although, admittedly, I die at the end, so maybe not all that good. As I said, though, you can't be fooled into thinking that Grover is an unstoppable killing machine. Here we go in for what we think is going to be a nice kill, but we get crippled and slowed at the same time. We try and run away to try and get rid of the effects and start a fresh attack, but both these champions have more range on us, and even though we're coming in and manage to take them down, we take a large amount of damage, meaning that when we come in for our ultimate attack, we get taken out. So, as I said, he's not some super tank that can take on absolutely everything. You think you're doing well, this Grover comes in, sees me off with a couple of hits. As I said, CC is also your worst area. I rather stupidly dive in here, knowing that that enemy was iced, but I kind of pressed the button before, and it really slows me down and takes me right back into the path of more damage, and I take a lot of hits before being taken out without actually doing very much to push the enemy back. So what is Grover like to play in the real world? Well, here is a quick game of Siege, just to give you a quick look at what it's like to kind of play with a guy. I found him incredibly fun, to be honest with you. Melee is quite difficult in this game. You have to be a little bit canny about how you choose to take on your enemies, because you'll quite often be caught out in large areas of open space where realistically for such a big and slow moving target you're a sitting duck. But if you can get around that, get used to the idea of actually being quite a big guy but flanking your enemies and coming in from unexpected areas, I think that you'll get on really, really well with him and find him that he's a very valuable addition to your list of champions.
5, 4,
Aw, you're trying
3,
so hard.
2, 1. And so it begins.
You don't look so tough.
An enemy has drawn first blood.
Big man lands on a turret. Here's the catalyst.
Let's make this interesting.
Escort the payload.
So cold.
This can make me go very fast.
Oh no! Attack!
This can make me go very fast. Now you see my bite.
seconds remaining.
Attack!
15 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 7, killing 6, 5, 4, 10, 9, 8.
I didn't know that. Let's make this interesting.
Enemy killing spree.
Beauty never dies. Oh no! That's too bad.
Death awaits you all.
Point spawning in 15 seconds.
Always up for a ride.
Now, I just look
5,
ridiculous.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Big man to pick on a girl.
Grow, little one. Grow. We need. Now you see my bite. It's not now you see my bite.
Help! Attack! Big man to pick on a girl.
Special delivery.
Gather round.
Enemy killing spree.
I brought you a present. So hard.
Escort the payload.
The chase.
Oh my!
Double
Hold see my bite.
Seconds remaining.
Oh my! Oh no!
That looks quite nice.
Point spawning in 15 seconds.
I'll show you the meaning of haste.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You don't look so tough.
Wow, I'm really freaking out, man.
Oh my!
Let's make this interesting.
Hold them fast.
Escort the payload.
Try and run.
Killing spree.
Their bite was greater than their bark. Will I make a sound? I'm not ready yet.
That's 5 in a row.
Oh,
Now you see my bite.
oh my!
And there you have it, folks. A game done and dusted in about 20 minutes. Not bad going, realistically, pushing the other team back hard. And here we go for the victory. So that's all for me for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more Paladins content, more content from any other games or anything like that. And I will see you in the next video. This has been the Man Called Megz. Bye-bye.